Hey, everybody. Welcome to So Many Sequels, your book club for movies. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
Somehow we'll make an intro out of that. And it's 2026. Welcome to
Year of
season
Get Her Done.
9. It's not the year of Get Her Done.
The year of getting her
It's
done.
not the year of getting her done. No, is getting done this year. I refuse to get any done. I don't want to be done. I was
Nice.
done years ago.
Yeah, stick your fork in it, man. Done there.
I got nothing
You
else
seeing
to
her
give.
get it done.
Get her done. See, that's the kind of energy that we should have. This energy is giving like gas leak fumes end of the year, not beginning of the year reset.
Right.
No, we're excited. we're
Well,
re-energized.
we're not really. Yeah, we're not
Fuel
resetting
for
per
the
se, but
fire.
we are re-energized. We're kicking off Rob Reiner Month here on the show to kick off season 9 and 2026 of So Many Sequels. We'll be doing our first episode right here, which is going to be The Princess Bride. Also lined up this month are A Few Good Men, This is Spinal Tap, and Stand By Me. So it's going to be a good month, I think. Really good month of movies here on the show. We're excited to talk about them with each other and with you guys, which you can join in on our social media. Go to Instagram, Threads, Facebook, all of them. Go to Google our names. We have them too. Go to our Discord, SoManySequels.com. I know that was like, we also have names. Yes.
We have names.
We have names.
We're not just a podcast. We're 3 individuals, dang it.
Yeah, we're human people. Human people with
We're
feelings
not
and
AI
stuff.
yet.
No, you can prove. But yeah, SoManySequels.com. Join our Discord. All that information is there. All right, so we're jumping into The Princess Bride this week, which came out in 1987. This is a classic movie. Couldn't tell you the first time I saw it because I think I was so young. But I wanted to read the synopsis here from Letterboxd, which says, it's as real as the feelings you feel. In this enchantingly cracked fairy tale, the beautiful Princess Buttercup and the dashing Wesley must overcome staggering odds to find happiness amid 6-fingered swordsmen, murderous princes, Sicilians, and rodents of unusual size. But even death can't stop these true lovebirds from triumphing. This movie has Cary Elwes, Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, Christopher Guest, Wallace Shawn, Fred Savage, Andre the Giant, Billy Crystal. Great, great cast. Again, directed by Rob Reiner, based on the book and story by William Goldman. David, how did this movie do when it came out at the box office? What was going on then?
Well, the movie launched September 25th, 1987. That's the official release date. However, that was kind of a small preview release, only 9 theaters that particular weekend. So I'm gonna jump to its wide opening, October 9th, 1987, where it opened to $4.4 million. That weekend, it was the number 3 spot, up against Fatal Attraction, which brought in 10.5. Like Father, Like Son brought in 6 million, just ahead of that. Someone to Watch Over Me was right behind The Princess Bride, number 4, and number 5 was a film called Surrender. Also in the box office still that weekend, you had Dirty Dancing. You had a movie called Stakeout, which had been doing pretty well earlier that year. The movie would go on to make just $30 million during its U.S. run, 30.8 to be exact. Not the biggest take for a movie that year. In fact, it was the number 41 movie of 1987. Number 1 movie in 1987 was 3 Men and a Baby, which is this is a great, honestly,
great 80s movie.
Great 80s movie. Love 3 Men and a Baby.
Never seen
maybe
it.
Someday.
Yeah, we got to find a reason because I do think it's a quintessential 80s film, especially.
And
it takes 3 men to raise his baby because, of course, it does.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Well, they don't know which one's the dad. I think isn't that the bit? Like they're not sure which one of them is the father.
We'll put
they're all
pin
trying
in
to
it.
help
We'll get
out.
there. We'll get
one day.
We'll get to it.
Then number 2, the aforementioned Fatal Attraction. Beverly Hills Cop 2 was at number 3. Good Morning Vietnam, number 4, and number 5 movie of the year was Moonstruck. This is our 3rd time visiting 1987. The previous films include Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, as well as Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. So it's kind of an up and down year for us in 1987. But the thing about this film is it didn't perform huge in the box office, but ended up becoming a cult hit, a movie that tons of people love. Rob Reiner said that they never even, the studio really didn't know how to market the film. they kind of marketed it as sort of a zany comedy, which it really, I don't know. Funny, yes. Zany, not quite. Um, According to Rob Reiner, they never even had a trailer for the film. They never aired like a trailer in theaters for the film. He said he had a conversation with the head of Fox at the time, and he was like, I don't want to have there was a lot of comparisons to the Wizard of Oz. They were kind of back and forth on it being sort of a modern Wizard of Oz and its storytelling, and the way that the Wizard of Oz became uh, way bigger after its initial release. In a similar way, Princess Bride became so much more after its initial release because the Wizard of Oz didn't make like a ton of money in its opening, but ended up being huge after word of mouth. So end up they were right because he said that's what we want for this movie. We want it to be our Wizard of Oz. So
Hmm. I mean, in
there you go.
that case, in that way, yeah, they did end up getting that. Very interesting. Okay, cool. Well, so we all watched the movie. Time to talk about it. I think we'd all seen it before, right? This is nobody's first watch, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I figured that was the case and hoped it was too. So I wanted to start with asking everybody what, if you can remember when you first saw it or your early memories of it, what was your relationship to this movie growing up? I think Garrett has a story already locked and loaded for this. Is it something you discovered on your own? Was it introduced to you as something that is a classic? Like, what's your guys' story with this? Garrett, you go first.
5th grade or 4th grade, we were invited to some kind of good kids get to do something outside of class. And we were invited to the library for a movie, and it was The Princess Bride. And 5th grade Garrett heard that title and went, "Man, I'd rather go back to class. I don't want to sit here and watch something called The Princess Bride. That's 2 girl words in a row. I don't want that."
At the library?
At the elementary school library. Like, we didn't even get to go
Yeah.
somewhere. It was just not in class. We didn't have to do the work that day. We got to go see the movie. Or maybe it was 6th grade, somewhere around there. And man, I was dumb. I was wrong. I was 100% the kid in this movie because I went into that movie thinking, this is stupid and this is wrong. And I remember at the end being like, dang, this movie was awesome. I was wrong. So that's my, or like, and ever since then, it has just been one that's been like, yep, let's do it anytime somebody wants to watch it.
For sure.
For me, I also remember the first time I saw it. It was a very specific instance. It was 2003. I was in 7th grade drama because when I was a little kid, I was I was this little hybrid. I wanted to be like an NFL football player, but I also wanted to be a famous actor. So I was trying to do both. I was trying to be Larry Bird, but also trying to be, I don't know. Anyway, I had done a lot of,
There's always one theater kid who's on a sports team too.
yeah,
Mhm.
I was trying to, I didn't know where my future laid, but I wanted to try both. And I had done like school plays and I did things like that and church plays and things growing up. And so I was in 7th grade drama. I was like one of like 4 guys. And the teacher wanted to teach us about character acting and like getting into like, so
Okay.
she brought in the Princess Bride to show us, you know, the ideas of like commitment to physicality and commitment to an accent and commitment to, different things. And yeah, it started up and I similarly was kind of like, okay, what's going on? But dadgummit, if it wasn't so funny and the characters so charming, like I remember where I really hooked in because at first I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of getting interesting with Andre the Giant and all that. But it was the interactions between Indigo and Wesley, especially when they're hanging on the cliffside. I'll never forget the line where he says, it's just this great line delivery when he says, "I don't think you want my help because when you get up, I'm just going to kill you." And he goes, "Well, that will put a damper on our relationship." I just remember being 13 and thinking, oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard anybody say. Like, it was just so genius. So anyway, that stood in my mind. It made me want to be like, I was like, that's the kind of movies I want to make. I want to be in like fun, adventurous movies.
Man, yeah, I'm kind of jealous of you guys because I don't really have a story to connect to it. I can't remember the first time I saw it. I do think I was in school. I think it was a movie that I watched in school, kind of similar to Garrett. I don't think it was a situation where it was like, yeah, being rewarded in class or for something. I think it was, I don't know, probably an English class, maybe drama class. I don't know. And what for some reason, the only scene that sticks in my head from that time is watching is the rodents of unusual size. I liked that
Mhm,
scene a
mhm.
lot the first time I saw it. So it's stuck it, but it's stuck in my head over the years. The whole movie has. Um, I don't really know why, because I'm not a big fairy tale person, really. But um, I'll say that I watched this with commentary from the Criterion Collection Blu-ray, which was really fun.
Nice,
It was like one of the first Criterions I bought, so came in handy that it came up on the show finally.
nice.
But I wanted to note that it was recorded this commentary track. That's what I was trying to. I almost said podcast, which it kind of is.
It is kind of a podcast, yeah.
It's a podcast set to a video.
But no, so this commentary track was recorded in 1997, so it was about
Mm,
10 years post the movie coming out. So it had started becoming a cult classic by then and all that. But one of the things that they talk about and that William Goldman talked about early on is how when he wrote the book and wrote the screenplay version of the book, part of the idea was writing a fairy tale that only had the good parts. Like,
mhm,
that's kinda what he was going for. A fairy tale that only had the good parts of the story. And I think that's why I circle back to saying I think that's why it sticks with me, because I think that's why it sticks with me because it's like it was designed for people like me who aren't into fairy tales and only want the
mhm.
action parts and the fun parts. So yeah, I enjoyed that part of it.
They definitely have excuse me, they have moments that appeal to everyone, right? And
Yeah.
that's why I think this movie is so universally beloved because there is something for everyone, even the skeptic. And they set that tone early because of how they set it up with Peter Falk and Fred Savage
Mhm.
in those two characters. You've got you've got the grandpa coming and just telling a story to a kid, spending time together. You know, you got the kid, he's playing the early of video games. He don't want to read a book. uh, I don't want to read no dang book about no girls kissing and
Mhm.
romance and ugh. I don't want that. And they do a good job of every time early when those moments show up, they cut back. And it's like, oh, I
Mhm.
thought you weren't gonna do this. And so you relate to this. And then those become less and less and less because you get hooked into the story that they're telling and the way that they deliver these characters and again, this whole month we're talking about Rob Reiner, and so this will be a part of what I think will show up throughout these months is that, or these weeks, is that every Rob Reiner movie, the character is so thought out and well developed. Even if they're somewhat one dimensional, they deliver something else. You know,
Mhm.
we talk about Andre the Giant and how he's so huge and imposing, but he's kind. He's sweet. He is this. He is perceived as this, and he is used as this tool of big destruction and damage. But he's a heartwarming boy who he really just wants to be a good guy. He's just always used as a tool for bluntness. And so even though they're kind of one dimensional at what they're doing, they hit so many different parts. And so there is a skeptic, there's a romance level for people who are interested in that piece and they want that with Robin Wright and Carrie Elways. And so there is really just something that hits every personality through some kind of character that you can relate to, if not multiple.
Right. And I think that the framing device of this grandfather telling the story to his son really just, I don't know, I think it demystifies it a little bit. So I think if it just came in straight up as just like, a fairy tale the way that you would, if you took out the framing
Presented
device.
as real, basically.
Right, yeah, if you took the
Yeah.
framing device away, it's a good movie, but it does lose, like, a layer of something, like, you forget yeah, when I was at least the first couple times I watched it, I would forget about Fred and Peter Falk until they would come
You do, yeah.
they'd storm back in with, "No, no, no, we're not doing that," right? "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." It was all, it weaves in really well, and it adds this sort of layer of like, what is this? Why is the story being told? What is the, what are the meanings behind it? And it allows you to kind of skip over the parts, like, yeah, the parts people skip. You can skip those a little bit because it's because this framing device kind of allows for it. But like you said, the characters, I don't know. It's also so very sharply written that like every character has like chemistry with each other. They all fit into these archetypes that make sense, and they bounce off each other so well. And it's just a breed. It's just a not a. It's just a perfect playground for a lot of great character actors to do something that, like, really, even today, I don't feel like you get that many movies that are like this, that are
Mm-mm.
like a fantasy period piece that you don't have to worry about like a lot of extensive lore or anything like that. It's just like you come in and you're going to be a swashbuckler. You come in, you're going to be, a diminutive, thinks he's smarter than everybody, rube or
Brazilian.
whatever. You get to be the albino who lives in the pit of despair. Like you can
Mhm.
be like it's just such a fun place, and everybody nails it from that perspective.
They do, and, going back to Reiner's direction on that, his movies, I think, are really well cast. The people he works with, are able and he has some, like, Billy Crystal is somebody he works with a lot. He's one of those
Mhm.
directors who will work with, the same actor multiple times, but everyone in The Princess Bride is, like, perfectly cast to fill these big roles that we're talking about here because they're fairy tale people that could be one-dimensional, but they're not, and it's because they feel so lived in. Like, what was it? Mandy Patinkin, as Inigo Montoya. Another thing dropped in the commentary, Billy Crystal said that he thinks he should have been nominated for an Oscar for that performance, and, like,
Yeah.
I can't really disagree. He's like, you believe that he is avenging his father's death. As
That's
ridiculous as it might seem sometimes, and as quotable as that line is, you believe him.
well, and at the end, when he is finally getting a chance to face the six-fingered man, and that is
Mhm.
all that he says, and he delivers that one line in so many
Mhm.
different tones and dialects and meanings and
Intensities.
feelings,
Yeah.
and you can just it's like when Tim Allen would grunt all of the time in
Mhm.
Home Improvement, and you just knew what he meant, you know?
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
was that same kind of a thing, and you could just feel the passion, and that is the thing that you get with character actors like this who are excellent character actors, and I agree that most of these movies, and we'll talk about them again, they're so wonderfully cast that you just believe they are who they are because they believe that. That's the benefit of working with such strong character actors is that they just believe that they deliver every piece of it with
Yes.
100% authenticity every time, and they're so good at it.
You've
By
also Oh, go ahead, David.
Oh, I was going to say by this point, Rob Reiner had directed Stand By Me, and this is Spinal Tap, and 1985 is The Sure Thing. So this was kind of his fourth. This is like his third major studio movie, I believe. His fourth film, like as a director, and he had such a like invisible command of bringing the film to life because, and I think I've heard people say this. I heard a couple people say this after Rob Reiner passed away last year, or after he died last year. It was Rob Reiner himself doesn't have like a style. He doesn't have like a signature shot or a signature way of doing things that just like you go, oh, that's a Rob Reiner thing. Like some directors have like very specific things that they're known for. But Rob Reiner's talent was bringing the screenplay to life in a way that just felt perfect and natural. Like he doesn't make there's nothing in there that's going to distract you from the shot. In fact, I think he says in the commentary, or at least he said before, there's one he wants everything to feel as real as he can. There's one shot in The Princess Bride where Robin Wright's riding away from the castle before she runs into the three guys,
Yeah.
and there's like a lens flare that passes by the screen, and
Yeah.
apparently Rob Reiner was like, I hated it. I hate that moment. It takes
Yep.
you out. And I'm like, it doesn't take me out, Rob. It's
No,
okay.
it doesn't. For me, it adds something to it because there's like this flair for her or something like that. She is the beauty that they're trying to highlight and focus on. The other thing that I feel that this movie brings is, and again, I think this is a through line, is it's a fantasy land, but there's no CGI, or there's no everything is a set. The duel scene with Wesley and Indigo, that is a set. That is choreographed on a set where the set was a character. All of the pieces, they built all of it with a purpose. They're not just in there on a green screen afterwards, like, I'm just filling in, we'll get it there. There's purpose to everything that they built. They use it with intent, and it's not just, again, a green screen monkey bar that they're swinging on. It is a set piece, and for me, that really stood out because it makes you, again, go back to that world. You don't need to know a lot of the lore because it just looks cool because it's
Yeah.
real. I want to go to there.
And it's still regarded, the duel between Wesley and Inigo is still regarded by many fight choreographers to be one of the best sword fights ever put to film. Even though, it feels like, oh, well, that's a lot. There's a lot of movies that have been made. Surely there's better sword fights. And it's like, don't call me Shirley. This is one of the best sword fights ever done because it's got character. It's got surprises, twists. It's got some fun acrobatics and things like that. So it's just Reiner himself had a great eye for blocking, a great eye for how to infuse character into things like that. So I mean, it's just a really impressive sequence, and one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Yeah, definitely. What's your guys' favorite part? What's your favorite part of the movie? What's the moment that, like, I don't know. When you
I
think of
think it's
Princess
him.
Bride, this is what comes to mind.
There's so many moments. It's tough to nail down, but we haven't really talked about his duel of the minds with Vicini.
Yes.
Those two characters together are really wonderful because I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but Vicini is that character actor is truly one of the best, and he is always captivating in whatever he's doing. From Clueless to this, from Dinner with Andre or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. He is awesome, and he just is such a slime ball, man. And to see him just try to talk round and round and round, and Wesley's just like, okay, man, what do you like? What do you get to the freaking point?
Right.
That whole back and forth and that build to that with his inconceivable nature, I think that for me is just one of the funniest moments.
For sure. I mean, every line that he has is funny. His interplay with Andre and Inigo is hilarious. And then his you know his sort of like, you would know that man is mortal, and like all this stuff, and he's trying to like play the game out in his head. It's a great performance. Yeah. And for me, okay, this is a very specific line, and it's a line that me and my wife say to each other a lot, and it could be kind of throwaway, but there's just something about the way that Mandy delivered it that I was just like, it just stuck in our brains, both of our brains, coincidentally. And it's after Wesley has come back from being mostly dead. He's taken the herb, he's alive, and he goes, "What's going on? Where am I?" Right? And Inigo says, "Let me explain." No, it's too much. Let me sum up. And and he goes through it really quickly. And so we say that to each other all the time. Like, let me explain. Let me sum up, because it's too much to go into. But yeah.
That's
I
a
also
great.
like, this is a little bit, when he says when Andre says the palace gate is guarded by 30 men, he goes, "How many do you think you could take?" He goes, "I don't think many more than 10. And then he like counts for like a beat. And he goes, "Leaving 20 for me." And, I don't know.
It's
Those little
just
beats are
perfect
great.
timing.
Yeah, I think probably one of my favorite recurring lines that we hadn't gotten to talk about yet was Wesley's full devotion to Princess Buttercup and
Mhm.
how he says, "As you wish," to
As you wish.
everything. maybe the best one is "As You Wish" as he's rolling down the hill.
Yes, that's a great one.
I love all those moments.
I remember that specifically being going all the way back to 7th grade and watching it the first time. That was my drama teacher's favorite scene, was when they're rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
Because it's just classic.
It was
I also
great.
love the lore of Dread Pirate Roberts and how
Yes.
he became to be Dread Pirate Roberts with the, something, 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 I'll most likely kill you in the morning. And then just this whole thing of like, I'm not actually the Dread Pirate Roberts. And just, again, being able to build on that reputation and then being able to hand things off to little Indigo and see what he does. I think that would be a little, honestly, bring a Dread Pirate Roberts movie to me somehow.
That'd be interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. It is. It's the fairy tale aspect makes it such a timeless movie, I think. I think the framing helps make it timeless. Little boys are always going to hear stories from their grandpas,
Yeah.
and there will probably always be stories about princesses and pirates and giants and all that stuff. So it does. It just feels like a timeless movie.
It does.
Well, I think
I was going to say, it feels like a classic film. Like, it doesn't feel like it's from 1987. It feels older somehow.
Yeah, it
And
does.
modern.
And modern, yeah. I mean, it's the scenes with Fred Savage and Peter Falk that are the only things that have any kind of like signs of the times on them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everything else could be any time in history, fantasy wise.
Yeah.
Well, let's do our final review and ratings then from each of us on the first entry of 2026's movie club log, The Princess Bride.
Other than a lens flare, I think this movie's pretty perfect. Just kidding. But seriously, no.
J.J. Abrams is in the chat.
Every single character actor in this movie is an absolute megastar in their own way. I mean, whether it's Carrie Elways and just being a huge character actor, cult star, Mandy Patinkin, he's gone to do several different things, but like all of these characters live in infamy in forever, and to be able to deliver that at such a timeless way in a realistic way with practical effects and just well thought out blocking and really just movie making. I mean, it's 5 stars.
As I put this in my Letterboxd review several years ago. Only a great fool would give this less than 5 stars, and I am not a great fool. Therefore, I cannot give it 4.5. I give it 5 stars. It's a fantastic movie. I love it a little bit more each time.
Yeah,
I would agree. It's a 5-star movie. I also think I love it more each time. It's just great. It's timeless. Can't say that enough. I look forward to watching it again soon. Okay, well, let's look through some Letterboxd scores here. Begin our new season of the Letterboxd game.
Look at this, boys.
Is it
back.
gonna stay at Garrett's? Will it
2
go
years at
back to
Garrett's.
David? Will
Yeah,
I
I
ever
know.
get to touch it?
This
We'll
is
find
the 5th
out this
year.
year.
I can't believe that we've been doing this for
That is kind of crazy.
freaking crazy. But yes, David won the first 2 years. I am the 2-time defending champ at this point in time. Josh has yet to get the board, but we have a whole year to go.
Well, Garrett, as the defending champion, do you want to guess first?
Well, let me read you some reviews here from the Letterboxd here before we drop our guesses. First we've got 4 stars. The wonder of childhood exists eternally through the magic of film. And I agree with that. 4 stars. The homoerotic duel between Wesley and Inigo Montoya never gets old. 4.5 stars. The scene where Carrie Elways lounging in the bed is the only reason I bother with men at all. And then finally, 5 stars. Quote, have you ever considered piracy? End quote, way ahead of you. Oh, wait, what? Actually, there is one more. 5 stars. Buttercup just standing there while Wesley gets fucking ripped to shreds by that giant rat. ... Go, girl, give us nothing.
Oh, man.
Fun times. So anyway, now, Garrett, surprise us with your winners, your championship guess.
I think that it will be very high. Letterboxd has a certain number of movies that are in a certain ranking. I don't think it's going to get there, but I think I'm going to go with a 4.1.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
4.1. I will guess, just to be safe, I'll guess 3.9.
Okay. I'm gonna be very brave then and go 4.2. just
Good
to
for
cut you
you.
out, David or Garrett.
That's okay. Me
okay.
and Garrett may split a point then.
Yeah.
I know.
We'll see.
Let's see. Okay, go on to refresh the page here. It was actually really nice because this this picture-in-picture thing that Riverside does covers up the score area perfectly.
Ooh.
Okay. Remind me what everybody said again. I said 4.2.
4.1.
I said 3.9.
We have a direct hit for our
Off to the
first episode
races.
of the year.
Wow.
And it goes to our champion, Garrett. This is a 4.1.
Oh,
Man, remember when I won Paddington 2 and then
Sweet
didn't win for
justice.
6 months and then
Yep.
won the whole thing?
yeah.
Very sweet justice.
Started off like 0-6 and then went undefeated for the rest of the year. Well, dang. So I didn't have a chance. So that works out.
You didn't
It
have
makes
a
you feel less
chance,
bad
no.
about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that starts Garrett off with a win to start the 2026 year. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right.
Rob Reiner in your face.
Yeah. That is going to do it for this first episode of the year here and of Rob Reiner Month. We'll be back with more all throughout February. We're talking about A Few Good Men. This is Spinal Tap and Stand By Me. So go check out those movies.
Hey, to throw in here as well, previous Rob Reiner movies we reviewed for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
The American President, Misery, and oh shoot, there was one other one.
When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met Sally. That's it. Sorry. Yes. So those are already out there. So just go to SoManySequels.com. You can search for those there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we've got coming up this month. Subscribe to the show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. We're there. We'd love to have you along for the year. It's going to be a fun one, I think. We've already got some fun theme ideas lined up. This is actually genuinely, I think, potentially going to be a cool year at the movie theaters. A lot of big movies coming out this year. So just going to be lots to talk
for
about.
At least 17 days.
For at least 17 days. This year it's going to be normal. It'll take a while to make that happen, but this year will be normal. Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be a good year because I said so. God damn it.
Manifest.
And that's how we do it. All right. We'll see you guys next week with more movie talk. Bye.